We're obsessed with the Connie Pheiff Show. It's about a lifestyle shift to move up or out.
Hey, what's your jam? What's the one thing that really drives you? What makes you unstoppable?
It's about opening a new door to live your dream.
People give up way too early on their dreams.
It's about enjoying the journey. It's about keeping it real.
Damn, now the interviewee is interviewing the interviewer. I like this.
It's all about you.
I knew there was something else I wanted to do. Stop taking shit so seriously. Y'all can do this. Take an outrageous look at life and laugh.
This is the Connie Pheiff Show.
We love your voice. We love your jam. You need to be on radio.
And now your host, Connie Pheiff.
Hey everyone, it's Connie Pheiff, and we're back again with another episode of the Connie Pheiff Show. And this is going to be episode 823. So when I look at those numbers, I gas myself sometimes. I'm like, whoa. And I was reminded that one more year we could be in the Hall of Fame. So we're sticking there because we've been doing this quite a long time. But every week we bring back consistently celebrity guests, outrageous guests who are the crazy ones who have turned that lifestyle shift or made that lifestyle shift to move up and out and activate their brand. So my question for you this week is, what are you doing to activate your brand? Because that's what it's all about, especially if you're out there living as an entrepreneur and making things happen, shaking the trees, because you are the brand and you are the reason that people come to your business and want to do business with you. And so our guest today is no stranger to this. She's a celebrity guest. She's a former Hollywood secret weapon turned powerhouse transformation leader. And from what I understand, when she was in Hollywood and all of the roles that she played, she turned down some of the best and brightest as much as she worked with some of those A-listers. So welcome to the Connie Pheiff Show, Alexis Artin. How are you, Alexis?
Hi, I'm well. Thank you so much for having me.
So the one thing that when I was looking at some of your information, you've been referred to as a real life spiritual Wonder Woman. So if you could just elaborate on that just a bit more.
Sure. It's funny. I have a lot of nicknames and titles, and one of them is I'm the Forrest Gump of the feminine. Probably because I did so many different things that led to where I am now. But spiritual Wonder Woman, I think a client of mine coined that for me. And I think it's because I really focus a lot in my work on why we're here. I believe that the body is how we are here. And I believe that the soul or the spirit is why we are here. And I always really love to shine a light on the why and then focus on the how.
Okay. And so looking at some of your information and some of your credentials, you are an energy index leadership master. So what does that mean? And how does somebody earn that?
Yes. Title? So I went to an ICF, International Coaching Federation school, where I obtained my degree as a professional coach. And as part of that accreditation, there is the opportunity to become this energy leadership index master practitioner. And that is that they have a tool there which helps you evaluate someone's emotional, spiritual, and energetic way of being in their life. So every year we hopefully all go get some sort of a physical examination with our doctors where they're reading our blood levels and checking our hormones and our weight and our cholesterol and all of those things. And what this energy leadership assessment will do is it will actually take a reading of where you are energetically, spiritually, emotionally to gauge that side of your health.
Okay.
and well-being. And it's just a great tool, again, just like a regular physical is, to gain some awareness and kind of capture a snapshot of how we're living our lives.
Wow, I love that. I love that. And with some of the work that you do, I mean, you really, you're helping people understand who they are from the inside out. And you yourself, this was a journey for you. And, and I saw that you had gone through some depression yourself after your first son was born. So what did you do to help discover your inner strengths that you're now helping other people with?
Well, it actually started, I would say, over a decade ago. It's an interesting story. I was still in the entertainment industry, and I went to a female empowerment class. It was a movement-based class with philosophy behind it. But I went to that class with a dear friend of mine who was, and forgive me for saying this the way that I'm going to say it, because I'm much more enlightened now than I was then. But she was a dear friend of mine. We would laugh together, cry together, all of the things. But she was not what I would have called my, in air quotes, sexy friend. Okay. I fancied myself the sexy friend if we had to choose. Okay. And in this, or the beautiful friend, or whatever you want to call it, aesthetically. And we went to this class, and I had been a dancer my whole life. So the class was wonderful, and I felt really comfortable in my body in this class. And at the end of the class, they had an opportunity where the student who brought you, I was the new friend that was brought by my friend, who was more practiced. And she had the opportunity to demonstrate her practice and her movement at the end for me. And within 30 seconds of the music starting and her displaying all that she had learned at this movement practice, the whole world seemed to flip upside down. And all of a sudden, she was the most beautiful, sexy thing I had ever seen on two legs. And I thought to myself, wow, if I had that wrong, what else do I have wrong? Okay. Where else am I being fed a lie that I've been believing? And in that moment, I knocked everybody out of the way, ran to the front desk and said, I need what she has. Sign me up. I'll have what she's having. Exactly. And the rest is history. That was really the moment that, eyes wide open, I was just hungry and seeking radical truth at that point. Wow. So, distinguishing facts about the mind, body, and spirit, some of the work that you do. So how do you separate those? How do you interact to create our own experiences through that work? Yeah. Well, I think that it is understanding the distinction between, again, the spirit or the soul is the why we're here. And that is infinite. It is limitless. It is connected to all things. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It just changes form. Right. And it comes down into a body, and the body is infinitely separate from all things. Like, I'm covered in skin and I'm separate from you. So it's this dichotomy of the body is finite and it is limited and it has an expiration date, whereas the spirit doesn't. And it is separate, whereas the spirit is infinitely connected. And so how do we live with both of those things, serving one another and in complement with one another when they're so contradictory? And the mind is there to serve that. The body is the ultimate feedback system for the soul or for the spirit. It is there to help guide us and help give the soul an experience of what it is to be here in this world, moving around in a body and having those types of experiences. And the mind is and the emotions or the heart are a bridge between those two things. Right. And they're the conduits where we're either totally aligned and the connection and the line is clear between those two things and everything's working in conjunction to serve and support one another, or there's some sort of a break in that conduit or in that line or in that connection. And that's where I would step in and really help somebody bring it back online.
So how does somebody use that to live their highest values?
So highest values is what the soul's purpose is.
Okay.
And so a lot of times people, aren't clear on their highest values. Mm-hmm. And even if they are clear on their highest values, B, they aren't actually living them and making them the North Star with which they do everything in their life. They will subordinate themselves to other people's highest values, or they'll hijack other people's highest values in order to get love, stay safe, achieve certain emotions that they're seeking, which really is at the root of everything that we do, is that we can feel a certain way. And so it's having an awareness of all of that and actively practicing that each and every day that is going to really move us towards fulfillment.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I do a lot of this work myself. And one of the things, I was actually listening to Oprah on her Soul Sunday. And one of the conversations that she was having with the guest is about that, living our highest values and not hijacking others. And they took that even further, talking about how we actually hold that in ourselves and in our mind, almost like we're putting ourselves in a jail sentence and, not giving ourselves the highest values, I guess, like, what you're talking about, and not giving that for ourselves, always looking outward, always looking for other people to make us happy and keep us happy. So, when I was listening to that, I thought, that really fits into what you're talking about with the highest values and supporting yourself and working, internally and finding that balance and alignment. So what can we do to cultivate a life of congruence? With what we're doing to uncover, to move forward, to upgrade, to really renew our lives from the inside out.
Yeah, it is a matter of really understanding your truth and separating that out from others' truths and really honing in on, yes, these are my highest values. And this is how, in the words of one of my teachers and mentors, Dr. DeMartini, this is how I am going to take high priority action versus engage in low priority distraction in each of the moments of my life. And realizing that anywhere that we are not empowered, we are overpowered by something outside of us.
I love that.
And so it is really staying in congruence with, these are my highest values. This is my North Star. This, my body is the compass to continue to move in the direction of that North Star.
Right.
And I am going to advocate for that and empower that in all the ways that I know how, whatever tools and strategies are serving that versus not serving that, being aware of those things and then taking action to consciously cultivate what it is that I truly do desire and what it is that I'm really here for. That is the way to fulfillment, which is what we're all seeking.
And we are all seeking that. And we talked early, even before the show started, about our different career paths and our journeys that we took. Yeah. So for people, and I know for me, I was a corporate executive, and then I, was in the entertainment field, and being a speaker and always, being in front of the camera. But then I shifted a couple of years ago because I just wasn't feeling that I was congruent with myself and, the inner strengths that I had, and that I wasn't fulfilling my purpose. And that was one of the reasons that I shifted from being in front of the camera to behind the camera and helping other talent and helping them live in balance, in the congruency that we're talking about, and helping them move forward or moving towards perhaps another place in that journey. And that's what we call them, the crazy ones, because people say, people think I'm crazy to want to leave corporate, or people think I'm crazy to want to change my career path, but I'm just not happy where I'm at.
And the word crazy is what? It's a judgment.
Right.
It's a label that somebody else has to put on someone else's choices in order to make their world seem safe and sane.
Right. I mean, I didn't leave my corporate position. They did a realignment and I was out. And I would probably still be there because I loved what I did. But at the same time, there were so many people that don't love what they do. And even when I was out and looking for another corporate position in the C-suite, and then I finally decided, you know what, I don't want to do that anymore. And
the universe gave you a leg up.
Yes. And I said that was a gift. And I just looked at that and I examined my gifts and I said, you know, I was groomed for corporate. I have all the letters and certificates to prove it, but I just wasn't fulfilled. And it was right. It was a leg up. It was giving me an opportunity to say, go do what you really want to be doing. So again, I'm 13 years later and I'm still doing it.
That's right.
And there's been some shifts along the way.
Sure.
Because, and I think, and I know with your work and from what I was researching is that we will have a shift along the way and we might, say, okay, we're going to pivot. We tried this might not be working. So we're going to try a new path in life, but that's okay.
It's absolutely okay. And it's the design of nature to build and destroy. That is where new birth and new growth comes from. There are seasons, right? In winter, everything goes bare, everything shrivels up and dies, everything falls off the vine. And then spring comes and we start all over again. And we are no different than nature. We're made of the same stuff, and we're constantly recycling within our cells, within our cycles. And the rhythm of life is to continue to grow, and there is no growth without change.
Well, I love that, and that's really, really powerful words. The Connie Pheiff Show is heard everywhere. You can find The Connie Pheiff Show on most of your favorite networks. It's time to now recognize and thank our major networks for all of their support. In the house, we have Conscious Business Radio, C-Suite Radio, Transformation Radio, iHeartRadio. We are also heard on Google Play, Apple Radio, Stitcher, and so many more that I just can't keep up with them all. I'm Connie Pheiff, your Unstoppable Diva. Learn more about our gym and how we can work together at my fancy schwanky website, ConniePheiffShow.com. I'll see you over there. Until then, like, share. Now back to the show. So some of our straight talk questions is, one is, if you could just finish this sentence, I am unstoppable because.
I am unstoppable because I am a truth seeker and a truth speaker.
Oh, I love that. So as a truth seeker and a truth speaker, who are your truth tellers?
Who are my truth tellers?
Yes. In your tribe. Yes.
Yes, I already gave him a shout out, but I'm going to just do it again because I'm a radical fan and student, is Dr. John DeMartini. I also am a member of 4PC, which is Rich Litvin's community. And I really love the work that he's up to and the model of being that he represents. Also, Barb Wade is an incredibly fantastic coach who I've worked with for many, many years, and I'm a huge fan of. Bruce Schneider of IPEC, I think, has done something really brilliant with the ELI and his IPEC community. Pam Castillo, an amazing neurolinguistics practitioner and hypnotherapist instructor who I've worked with and studied with and gotten certifications through. And then on a larger scale, Oprah, hello.
Right. Hello, Oprah.
Can I get an Oprah? Absolutely. Danielle Laporte, I think, is doing some really beautiful work. There's so many really wonderful, wonderful voices out there.
There really are. And just to be a part of that, and again, the energy that you just, full and feel from each other. As I was
and Christopher Lee Mayer is also really amazing when it comes to the body. Have to put that in there too.
Okay. So how do you want the world to hear from you?
How do I want them to hear from me?
Right.
Meaning, like, where can they hear from me, or what if I could leave one message with them, what would it be?
Yeah. If there was a message, if there was a truth, if there was something of you want them to hear from.
Yes. Well, it's funny. So I was doing an interview the other day and I was asked this question, which I thought was a great question. I was asked if there was a graveyard somewhere that I were to be buried in, and it was 200 years from now, and every other headstone in the graveyard had, the day of birth and the date of death, except for mine. And mine had some cryptic message on it that people would be shocked to see in the middle of this standard graveyard. And they might even come sit and have lunch there and really ponder the meaning of why I chose to leave this on my headstone. What would I have that headstone say that would really sum it all up for me and give people something to chew on?
Okay.
And I paused and I really dug deep and reflected. And something, almost like I put in a Google search into myself, and what populated out that I was surprised by and also not was own it or someone else will.
Oh, I love that. Really, I mean, just powerful words right there. I love that. I love that. So if there were a song about you, what would it be?
Oh, I love that question. Does it have to be a real song or can I make one up?
Oh, no, make it up.
Okay. If there was a song about me, what would it be? Watch out, world. Here comes that woman.
Ooh, the Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Something like that.
So what do you think is this question. What do you think is the world's greatest wound right now?
The inability to deeply listen inward and tend with a loving care to that voice.
Absolutely love it. Love it. So what is next for Alexis Artin?
Well, what's next for me is I'm currently doing several initiatives. One is I'm building and launching a movement practice. Okay. Another is that I am going to be filming an online product, or rather, should I say, refilming an online product, and also writing a book.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
So, and I know that one of the programs that you wanted to promote, and you said you may promote it. It's Reinventing You. Is that what you're going to
That is the product that I'm going to be filming. Yes. Okay. Yes. Refilming. We actually filmed it once, and then it turns out that we need to refilm it again, but it will be available soon.
And it'll be better the second time around.
Absolutely. I mean, that's, again, build and destroy. Sometimes you have to kill your darlings and make room for what's next.
Mm-hmm. You do. I actually wrote this massive program once that we were producing it. And I don't know how it just vanished. Like I was done. Yeah. And it just was no longer in my computer.
Oh boy. Deep trust. You got to have deep trust in those moments.
Yeah. After you have that like pain in the chest. And I had 24 hours to pull it back together. And I sat for 24 hours and rewrote it. And I think it was 10 times better than it originally was. Yeah.
You have a special relationship with the universe. It really just wants to step in on your behalf, and the wind is at your back.
Yes, it is. And I truly believe that, So, so Alexis, we're really at the end of our show, and I would really love to keep chatting with you. But is there anything else that you want to add and for our listeners to hear about your programs, your products, and let them know where to find you?
Yeah, I think the best thing to do is just to create a relationship with anybody and everybody that's listening, and to just stay in touch and let's engage in some deeper conversation. That's what I'm all about. So the best way to find everything about me is probably my website, alexisartin.com. And all my social media channels are on there. And it's the hub of my world. So.
Yes. And I was on there, and there's a lot of information on there. So.
It's great.
So
it's great.
It is.
Yeah.
It is definitely great. Well, that's all I got for today, Alexis. I want to thank you for being here. You've been a joy. I really enjoyed our conversations.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed being here with you and appreciate the opportunity to connect with you and anybody that's listening.
Great. Well, that's all we have for today. It's Connie Pheiff. Thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing to listen, like, subscribe, and share the Connie Pheiff Show. And this week, I want you to challenge yourself to be kind to yourself and always be kind to each other. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, y'all, it's Connie Pheiff. Thank you for listening to the Connie Pheiff Show. Check back often. You don't want to miss any of the good stuff. If you like what you hear and would like to be a guest on the show, head over to theconniefeifshow.com to apply. While you're there, check out our amazing advertising opportunities that will put you right in front of your perfect client. I will see you over there. Do yourself a favor this week. Activate your power and be unstoppable together.